Look, I'm not here to coddle anyone. I'm here to hand you a set of psychological tools that will forever alter how you see every handshake, every conversation, every hidden agenda for the rest of your existence. In the next 10 minutes, the mask will fall off human nature. This isn't folklore passed down by fathers or dogma taught by teachers. Most men will die with these truths buried with them, never knowing why they lost the game. 5 centuries ago, a man named Machiavelli scratched out secrets so disruptive that his masterwork was banned for centuries, blacklisted for its disturbingly raw look at the human animal. His words became the forbidden handbook for kings, presidents, and power brokers, the same ones who publicly ridicule those truths, but privately live by them. What you're about to learn isn't theory. It's the blueprint for the machinery that really drives human choices. Not the noble story we repeat to ourselves, but the circuitry that actually controls the moves. Our fathers didn't pass this down, and their fathers before them didn't even dare to ask. That's not a coincidence. Society wants men to play fair, stay soft, remain manageable, mistaking ignorance for decency. But that ignorance doesn't protect you. It leaves you exposed. So let's tear away the comforting illusions and get dangerous. Because power isn't given to the innocent. It's seized by the aware. Here's the first uncomfortable reality. People don't make decisions for rational reasons. They move to avoid discomfort, to chase pleasure, driven by emotion. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel." To decode, people make choices based on the surface, not substance. See it at work everywhere. Friends ignore advice that takes effort. Career seekers sabotage their own success for comfort. Women say nice, but chase dangerous. Influence isn't won by facts. It's seized by stirring feeling, projecting vision, and feeding desire. Arguments aren't won by logic, but by mastering the climate of emotion. Alpha leaders rule rooms by recognizing that feelings, not facts, steer the herd. Your father instilled loyalty, blind, unconditional. Machiavelli, ever the realist, had a harsh counter. Since love and fear can hardly exist together, it is far safer to be feared than loved. Loyalty in his world is currency, valuable only when reciprocated. Who are the kings in your circle? Not the self-sacrificing loyalist, the strategic operator. Real loyalty is transactional. Break the contract and your allegiance is rescinded. The leech friend, the opportunistic employer, the non-committal partner, all exposed. Give your loyalty generously, withdraw it ruthlessly when it's abused. Because to persist in giving where it's not returned isn't virtue. It's self-sabotage. Machiavelli's law: build alliances through strength and never through weakness. Next, revelation. Reputation is the most misunderstood weapon. Machiavelli grasped it with precision. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Translation: control your narrative. Authenticity isn't full vulnerability, it's calculated exposure. Most men think being real means spilling everything. Real power comes from giving the world the version that gets results. Want respect? Only diagnose. Never complain? Want rarity? Limit your availability. Want influence? Never explain, just act. The formula: consistency, mystery, and calculated openness. Society conditions us to run from conflict, to keep the peace at all costs. Machiavelli flips that script. There is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others. Conflict isn't an event. It's the landscape. Winners prepare their defenses before the attack, gather resources when the sun is shining. In work, relationships, even friendships. There's always competition, always a challenger eyeing your throne. Never pick unnecessary battles, but always be ready to end a war decisively. The man who trains for conflict seldom faces it. His readiness becomes his shield. Invest in skill, wealth, endurance when you're not desperate. Never react. Always be prepared. His classic warning: the lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. You must learn to wear both faces, cunning and strength in perfect balance. Let's shatter the biggest lie. Niceness equals goodness. Machiavelli's wisdom. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. Niceness is about comfort. Goodness is about what's right. Niceness avoids hard truth. Goodness tackles it head-on. Women don't chase nice, because nice is easy to exploit. What they're drawn to strong enough to disappoint those who don't matter. Power, wise enough to greatest leaders without expectation. Fair, but you've just heard 5 dangerous truths that fracture the illusion cast by upbringing and society. You are now armed with frameworks that disarm weakness and breed influence. Emotion rules logic, loyalty must be mutual, reputation is engineered, conflict is inevitable, and strength is essential. This isn't about manipulation. This is the manual for survival and dominance. If you're ready, subscribe, because you've barely scratched the surface. Next, we'll unveil Machiavelli's most explosive concept: making others desperate to earn your favor. Don't click unless you're prepared for the deepest level of human psychology. You've made it here, but now ask yourself, what does that really mean? Most will hear the truths I revealed and let them drift, unchanged, back into the comfort of their predictable lives. They'll close the video and move on, never daring to look beneath the surface again. But not you. If you're still watching, it means these lessons have disturbed your comfort zone. You're on the threshold of a new identity, one not dictated by tradition, not restrained by inherited limitations. At this moment, you are neither sheep nor spectator. You're closer to power than you've ever been. Think about what just happened. From the outset, you were shown secrets your father couldn't teach, because he never discovered them himself. As the video unfolded, you felt the grip of centuries-old truths, carving clarity through years of social programming. You might feel excitement, resistance, maybe even fear. That's the sign you're confronting something real. If you're feeling unsettled, congratulations, you're awakening. And let's be brutally honest, these principles taken seriously create discomfort. Most people tell themselves comforting stories, watering down their potential for the comfort of belonging. But here's the reality. In the world Machiavelli described, comfort is just delayed pain. Only those willing to confront the dark realities of power survive and thrive. So as you sit here, feel the tension inside. Reflect for a second. Are you ready to reshape your future? Or will you let old programming drag you back into mediocrity? Pause. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, armed with these principles, walking into a negotiation, a relationship, a meeting. How will you command the room? How will your reputation echo before you speak? Will people scramble for your approval, or will they treat you as another easily ignored face in the crowd? If you want the former, you must move differently. Think strategically, speak purposefully, act decisively. This video is not entertainment, it's initiation. But here's the catch. Information is nothing without action. The most dangerous minds are not those who learn, but those who apply relentlessly. So you have a choice right now, a fork in the road that will define the next chapter of your life. On one side sits inertia, the seduction of doing nothing. On the other sits relentless improvement, gaining influence, mastering your reputation, dominating every room you enter. Choose flippantly, and you'll stay another face in the crowd. Make a strategic move, and you step onto the path of the powerful. That's where the manipulation comes in. Am I manipulating you? Absolutely. But not for entertainment or hidden profit. I'm offering you the chance to manipulate reality to your advantage, a favor most never get. You know what every leader understands? That true power requires shaping perception, moving people emotionally rather than logically. If you want to win in today's world, you must use psychological principles, not just facts and knowledge. Here's how it works. I've created something irresistible, a value so potent you can no longer ignore it. I've built urgency by showing you what you stand to lose, staying weak, being ignored, missing out on the power that only a select few ever wield. I've flattered your intelligence, challenged your courage, and put you at the center of this transformation. And now I offer the next step in the journey. Not because I'm generous, but because only those hungry enough will take it. So, here's your first test of strategic thinking. Will you take action or remain passive? If you choose action, here is exactly what you need to do. Smash the like button. This isn't just a mindless click. It's your first public signal that you're no longer among the passive. Each like tells the world you've chosen a side, the side of knowledge, strategy, and dominance. Successful men know the power of sending signals. This is yours. Subscribe right now. Not tomorrow, not when you have time. Machiavelli taught that hesitation is fatal in power struggles. Every second you wait, someone else gets stronger. Subscribing isn't just about more videos. It's about forging a connection to advanced knowledge, exclusive insights, and strategies others will never see. Think of this as entering the inner circle, the court where tactics are formed, alliances are built, and competitors are left behind. Turn on the notification bell. Only the perceptive benefit from opportunity. The bell ensures you never miss your decisive moment. In a world where information is currency, delayed access equals missed opportunity. Comment below with your deepest insight or most uncomfortable realization. Not because the algorithm likes comments, but because public commitment strengthens internal transformation. State what challenged your beliefs, what you plan to change, which Machiavellian principle shook you. Men who speak their intentions gain status. You gain clarity. Share this video with one person who you see struggling with the complexities of power and influence. You know the cost of ignorance, and if you truly understand the principles discussed, you know your tribe defines your future. Bring one more mind into your circle. The strength of a network multiplies the power of each member. Think long-term. Every like, subscribe, and comment isn't just for me. It's for the movement of men who refuse to be weak, who use strategic thinking, not emotional comfort, to chart their course. You are no longer alone. You are part of a growing brotherhood of the aware, the unmovable, the dangerous. If you're tempted to hesitate, remember, as Machiavelli wrote, he who hesitates loses. Kings don't wait for permission, they act, and then they dominate. Inaction is the enemy of power.